Hey, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about addition of mixed fractions. So if we have two mixed fractions, let's say it is 2, 7 and 5 plus 3, 4, this is 10. Okay. If we have these two mixed fractions and we have to add them. So in addition of mixed fractions, there can be two ways to do that. I'm going to first discuss the first way, and that would be, the first way would be like you just convert them into improper fractions. Now if you remember, to convert them into improper fractions would be this denominator, that is 5, this whole that's represented here by 2, 5 times 2 plus 7 and divide by this denominator 5, right? So this is the conversion of this mixed fraction into an improper fraction, its respective improper fraction, plus now convert this one also into its improper fraction. So 10, that is denominator, times 3, that is the whole number, plus 4 and divided by 10, and this will be what? 5 times 2 is 10 plus 7 is 17, so 17 over 5 plus 10 times 3 is 30 plus 4 is 34, so 34 over 10. Now you can clearly see that these two fractions are unlike fractions. And in unlike fractions, what we do is we take the LCM first, if you remember, because we have to find the equivalent fractions of this one and this one, their respective equivalent fractions, such that the denominator is same, and that would be the LCM of the denominators. Okay, so if you try to find out, the first step will be what? To add them is to find the LCM of 5 and 10. LCM of 5 and 10. If you will find the LCM of 5 and 10, then you can clearly see that 10 is divisible by 5. That is, 5 is a factor of 10. Now since 5 is a factor of 10, therefore the LCM of these two numbers will be 10. Okay, so the LCM of 5 and 10 will be 10. Second step is what? You have to find the equivalent fraction of this one having denominator as 10. So in order to find an equivalent fraction of this fraction having denominator as 10, by what number you should multiply 5 with so that its denominator becomes 10? You will say that just multiply 5 times 2 so that the denominator of its equivalent fraction be what? 10. Now since we have multiplied denominator by 2, you'll also multiply numerator by 2. So this will be 17 times 2 is 34 by 10. So 34 by 10 is equivalent fraction of 17 by 5. And what will be equivalent fraction of 34 by 10? Simple. Since 10 is the LCM and 10 is a denominator here, therefore no need to multiply with any other number. So 34 by 10 in this case and 34 by 10 in this case. Okay, so equivalent fraction of this one is this, and no need to find the equivalent fraction for this one because as the denominator here is 10 and LCM is also 10, so there will be no change in the denominator of the equivalent fraction of this one. So this will remain as 34 by 10. In a third step, you'll simply add these two. So if you add these two, then 34 times over 10 plus 34 over 10, and this will be, since the denominator is now same, therefore this will be 10 over 34 plus 34, and this will be equal to what? 68 over 10. Now if you want to simplify it, then you can simplify and the simplification, you know, that is to find the highest common factor of 68 and 10. So I'll leave that for you. If you want to simplify this fraction, then you can. Otherwise, just when this is also correct answer. So this was the first way. What about the second way? The second way would be like this. Now you know that this can be written as 2 plus 7 over 5, and that's what a mixed fraction can be written as. Mixed fraction, if there's A, B, C, if this is a mixed fraction, then of course it tells you that A is the whole, that's A whole plus the fraction B over C, right? So it's telling you that the two whole of something, the complete two separate objects of something, and the 7/5 of that particular whole object. If you are getting confused, then please go to the theoretical videos on mixed fraction. Then there will be no confusion to you in understanding this one. So this can be written as 2 plus 7 by over 5, and further this can be written as 3 plus 4 over 10. Now you can add 2 and 3, you will get what? 5 plus 7 over 5 and plus 4 over 10. Now it's again these two fractions, that is this one and this one, these two fractions are unlike fractions. So the first step will be to add these two fractions will be what? The first step would be you try to find the LCM of 5 and 10. So LCM of 5 and 10 will be what? 10. Why? 5 is a factor of 10. Therefore, if you find the LCM, then you'll get 10. Second step will be to find the equivalent fraction of this one, so that, and this one, so that the denominator is 10, that is LCM. So for 7 over 5, if you try to find the equivalent fraction for this one, such that its denominator should be 10, same steps will be repeated here. Okay, so this will be 5 times 2 here and 7 times 2 here. 5 times 2 makes 10, that's what we actually want, and 7 times 2 is 14, and no need to convert this one to an equivalent fraction because it's already simplified, as the LCM, that is 10, is also the denominator of this fraction. So this will be same, that is the 4 over 10. Now the third step will be what? To add them. So if you add 14 over 10 plus 4 over 10, then you will get denominator is 10, 14 plus 4, and this will be 18 over 10. So the addition of these two fractions is 18 over 10. Now you have to solve for what? 5 plus 18 over 10. Okay. Now in solving this, we can think of it as 5 over 1, right? Any number A can be written as A over 1, right? So this number can be written as what? This number can be written as 5 over 1. 5 over 1 plus 18 over 10. Again the same thing. If we try to find the LCM of 1 and 10, then that will be 10 only, right? Because 1 and 10, you will find 1 is a factor of 10, therefore LCM is also 10. The second step will be to convert this fraction into an equivalent fraction having denominator as 10. So if I multiply 1 with 10, then I'll get denominator as 10, and since I have multiplied 1 with 10, I'll also multiply 5 with also what? 10. So this will be 50 over 10, and no need to convert this one into a equivalent fraction because 10 is the LCM and it's already 10 as the denominator of this fraction, so this will be 18 over 10. 18 over 10. Third step is the addition of these two, that is 50 over 10 plus 18 over 10. If you will solve it, then the denominator will be 10, and if you add these, then 50 plus 18, this will give you 68 over 10. So in both these cases you get the same result. These were the two ways. Now you can clearly see that if you go with this second path, okay, and if this one was the first path, you can clearly see that number of steps involved in the calculation is lesser in this case, and the number of steps required in this one is, you know, larger than what we did here. You can clearly see that we found LCM 2 times and then repeating these same steps 2 times, but in this case, when you are going through converting this into an improper fraction, then the number of steps required for the calculation is less. So this was all about addition of mixed fraction, and in next video we will talk about subtraction of mixed fraction.